used to be a millionaire, I do.
Oh, give over. You've been singing that all night.
Hey, with good reason.
No.
Come on.
Oh.
Is there any more ale?
No, we've supped the lot. That's the last can. We've even emptied the pot.
Listen, Kane has got 2.5 million quid. Hey, my lad's made it big time. You go down in Dingle history.
Oh, along with Sadie King.
Will you stop trying to spoil everything, eh?
You had your breakfast, love?
No.
Hope we didn't keep you awake.
You should have joined in.
I suppose you feel like celebrating. As both the parents gone now.
Well, we'll look out for her. We always have. But in the meantime, let's just savour the moment. Eh?
You shouldn't be out of bed.
Chaz is right. You need to get some rest.
Never mind that. I want to know where your brother is and that scheming bitch Sadie.
Come on, Dad.
And I want to know what happened when you handed my money over to your brother.
There's no point picking on Chaz. You're going to make yourself ill.
I'm already half dead.
Detective Inspector Poulton.
I need to go over your statements. Clarify a few things.
What do you mean?
We've already given you statements.
I'm aware of that.
You should be out there searching for Kane Dingle, not bothering us.
Carl, why don't you do as the man says?
Hello, Pet. What are you two doing here?
I've got some good news.
I wanted to get a feel of the place. Marlon doesn't mind. The paperwork's all in order. We'll be partners by tea time.
Exciting, isn't it?
I want to chat with that, Debbie.
Oh, well, you can try. She's not said a word all morning.
Hey, put that down. Coffees are on me.
I'm in the middle of an oil change.
Oh, come on, Debbie. You deserve a break. You've not stopped since you got in.
I want to finish it.
Can have one of them cappuccinos and a cream bun. What do you say?
I know why you're here. You needn't have bothered.
Your dad's gone off with Sadie. You're bound to be upset.
That's where you're wrong.
Don't have to pretend.
No, I mean you're wrong about Sadie. I've had a message off my dad. He said he's on his own. He said he's dumped her.
How's he now?
Not that I care. I just want to be left alone to get on with my job, right?
You say so.
Yeah, I do.
Suit yourself.
You screwed up the whole operation.
Dad said no police. He thought Kane was going to kill him.
The tracking device was in place. We'd have got him.
My dad's safe and sound. That's all that matters.
You couldn't have planned this any better, could you?
You what?
Dingle got away. Nobody got hurt.
Have you seen the state my dad's in?
He'll live. After the house collapsed, you shifted a lot of money from business accounts into personal ones, didn't you?
So?
So, that can be traced. But 2.5 million quid out of reach of your creditors? That's very handy.
Not that again.
Have you finished?
Far from it.
I've had him a look for this. Right. My dad was in danger, and I would have done anything to get him out alive.
Can't get off him.
Do that again, and I'll have you for assault.
Of course, the kidnap could all have been a big con. Do you think so? The Kings give Kane a cut, keep the rest for themselves.
Well, that makes sense. The only thing they care about is money.
I got your message. What's so urgent?
Dame Edna and that goneless sister of mine. They're ready to sign contracts, apparently.
Have you dragged me here to tell me that?
I want you to buy Louise's share.
How many more times? I am not going to buy Louise's share. Now, you had your chance, and you chose Rodney instead of me.
Oh, that was a mistake.
Val's going to be your partner. Get used to it.
She's a deceitful, deranged, oversexed dipsomaniac.
Perfect qualifications for a landlady.
Do you think the Kings will go under?
I doubt it. Tom's a wily old devil.
I hope you're right. You can't afford to lose their business.
We won't.
I'm
sorry, Mr. King, but you wouldn't take no for an answer.
I've got something to tell you.
It's all right, Edna. Well?
I've had a message from my dad. He said he's tricked Sadie. He's ditched her and gone away on his own.
Do you believe him?
Why shouldn't I?
Because you can't believe a word that man says. You should know that better than anyone.
He's still my dad.
You're well shot of him, love.
I just thought that you'd want to know.
Well, if you hear he's dead, come and tell me. Otherwise, don't bother.
I'm sorry about that.
Maybe I was a bit hard on her.
You mustn't reproach yourself.
I've done nothing else since I got up this morning. I let Sadie get the better of me. She fooled me over Charity and she's done it again.
I did warn you.
I beg your pardon.
You should never have met her. I said you should go to the police.
And of course, you're always right, aren't you?
I'm sorry.
Save your self-righteousness for church, Edna. OK.
What's going on?
I'm dishing out a few home truths. You want some?
Oh, give it a rest, will you? Edna, type these up, will you, and then you can have the afternoon off.
You what?
I've got nothing else for her to do.
We've got a business to save here.
I know that.
You're worse than useless, the lot of you. We've just given away £2.5 million, and it looks like I'm the only one who's bothered.
That is not true.
I want that money back. And I want Kane and Sadie brought to their knees. And nobody rests until that's done. Is that clear?
Dad! I'll let him go.
Matthew's right. Need him to calm down.
Dad! I've naught to say to you.
You need to look after yourself.
Why should I listen to you?
Because you're my dad and I love you.
You haven't got a clue. If you had a double-headed coin, you'd still call tails.
Makes you feel better, does it? Using me as a punch bag?
If we go bankrupt, it's down to you.
I'm not having that.
Do you know what your trouble is? You're weak. You got no bottle. The first sign of pressure and you gave in. You should never have handed over that money.
You told me to do it. You were terrified. You just seen Sadie shot and you thought you were next.
Yeah, but she wasn't shot, though, was she?
You were pleading for your life. What was I supposed to do? Let you die?
You had to make a judgment and you got it wrong. It's pathetic. You couldn't run a raffle, let alone a company.
Matt, tell him he's talking out of his backside.
I think he's right.
You hypocrite. I saw your face when I told you Sadie was dead.
Don't care about her, not anymore. Not after what she did to me dad.
If you're trying to impress me, you're wasting your breath. You're both as bad as each other. You were the one that brought Sadie back into this family. If you hadn't been so stupid as to fall for her, she'd have been long gone.
So it's my fault now.
I'm ashamed of you both.
I had to make a decision and I stand by it. I'm wondering whether it was worth it.
Your girlfriend helped you with that decision, did she?
You can leave her out of this. She was as worried about you as I was.
She handed over £2.5 million of our money to her own brother. Now even you must be able to work that one out.
He accused me of being involved.
Well, he thinks you persuaded me to hand over the money. Kane is your brother.
He's the errand boy. Sadie's the one to blame.
I know that.
She's run rings round him for years. That's why he's so mad.
And there was no sign of her when you handed over the money.
I'd have said if there was, wouldn't I? You know what she's like. She'll let Kane take all the risks. She's not stupid.
And my dad thinks I am.
Well, he's not thinking straight. It's not just because of Sadie. He still thinks of himself as an hard man. He was scared out of his wits yesterday.
I've never heard him like that before.
He had good reason to be. You'd admit it, and so would I, only he can't because he's so flaming stubborn.
Is that all right?
No, I'm sticking up for him. He's accused me of being in league with Cain. Look, you did what you did to save his life. You'll see that one day.
Where did you get to?
Don't matter.
You're upset about your dad, aren't you?
No?
You didn't fool Zach and you don't fool me.
I don't give a toss about him.
Why didn't you go with him? I mean, with that kind of money, you wouldn't need to change oil for a living.
He asked me. Right, I turned him down.
What for?
Because I hate him. I never want to see him again.
Okay.
You don't know what he's like, Scott.
I know he's a total head case. You got to hand it to him, he's got it made.
You think he's clever?
Well, I think he puts himself first, always has done. And I know that's tough on you, but look where he's got him. He's loaded.
Yeah. And that meant more to him than me.
I don't see you giving our money back.
That's different.
Look, he let you down. Tough. That's the way it is. You can't trust anybody, which is why you need to look after number one. That's what your dad's done, and that's what you should do.
So glad you could make it, Rick.
Well, I'm intrigued. Hadn't realised you were looking for property.
All will be revealed.
Whatever you want, it's on the house.
What for?
I'm in need of a bit of advice.
In exchange for 2 G&Ts?
Large ones.
Go on, then.
Louise is about to sell her share of this place to Val, and I'm not keen. Slight understatement. I'm suicidal at the prospect.
Right, and do they know how you feel?
Right from the word go, and they haven't taken a blind bit of notice. I want to know if I can stop it happening.
Louise can sell to whoever she wants, but you have to sign certain documents to say that you're in agreement.
So I can stop it?
If you refuse to sign. But it could cause a great deal of unpleasantness.
Not half as unpleasant as having my sister for a partner.
We've had reports of a small plane taking off out of Way Airfield.
So that's it then, is it? They get away with it, do they?
I didn't say that. We are pursuing other lines of inquiry.
Such is suggesting we set the whole thing up.
You are?
That's what he said to me and Carl.
You should be very careful what you say about my family. The Chief Constable is a very good friend of mine.
I'm sure Chief Constable Vaughan will support my investigation.
I wouldn't bank on it. Right, you know where the door is? Edna, get me Charlie Vaughan on the phone now.
Nothing too grand. 2 3-bedrooms and not too far away from here.
Oh?
Is that a problem?
Well, I'm surprised you want something that small.
It's an additional property. Somewhere for a chap to entertain, if you know what I mean.
I see.
There is an element of urgency about this.
I'll give it top priority.
Excellent.
Hello, darling.
What's that?
I said we'd find somewhere to live, didn't I?
He's an estate agent.
Mm-hmm. And I told him we wanted a little love nest.
Someone see you?
Oh, Charlie. Thanks for coming.
Are you sure you should be up and about? You look terrible.
Never mind that. Family business, Charles.
Oh.
So, what can I do for you?
Well, for a start, you can do something about that jumped-up inspector. What's his name?
Poulton.
Ah, that's him. He's been accusing my lads of being involved in my kidnap.
Oh, I find that hard to believe. He's a highly competent officer.
Tell him, Carl.
He seems to think we had a hand in planning it. That's why things ran so smoothly. And he was right in my face. He's got an attitude problem.
Well, you did interfere with his operation. He's bound to feel aggrieved.
That's no excuse. If he worked for me, he'd have my boot up his backside.
All right, Tom, you made your point.
Val, Sally Lumsden, my solicitor.
Oh, pleased to meet you, Pet.
She's got all the documents for us to sign.
Oh, well, sit down. I'll join you in a minute.
I hope you're going to pay for that.
It's on the house.
Who says?
By the time we've subbed it, I'll be able to do what I like. Right. The property transfer form.
The sale contract and the deed of adherence.
We're both saying them, do we?
Yes, as does the other part owner, Mrs. Sefton.
Diane?
Naturally, as you're entering into a partnership with her. It's not a problem, is it?
Tom King's going to be mad as hell about what's happened.
Aye, he won't take kindly to being outshined by a dingle.
And he'll blame all of us, you know that, don't you?
Let him. Not frightened of him.
What about Sammy?
Eh?
What if Tom finds out about Alice?
Well, how's he going to do that?
Well, Chas is up there, isn't she?
He's not going to mention that again.
Though she might not mean to, but you know what Tom's like. And she's on her own.
She's got Carl.
He's a king, she's a dingle. Oh, I'm going up there.
Nay, woman, don't be daft.
I've got to find out what's going on for Sammy's sake. You stay here if you want.
I'm not letting you go up there on your own.
You want me to sign all these?
I assume you've discussed this with your own solicitor.
Earlier today. And he said, if I don't sign, the deal can't go ahead. I'm sorry?
Oh, come on, Diane.
I've told you time and again, I don't want you as my partner, but you just won't listen.
Diane, sign the papers so we can all move on.
No, I won't.
Don't mess about.
I've never been more serious about anything in my life.
Just give me the papers. We can sign them later when you've calmed down.
Oh, Jack, talk some sense into her, please.
She's refusing to sign the papers.
What's the point?
Give them here.
You're making a fool of yourself.
Well, I'll just finish the job.
Oh.
I don't care what you say, I want them two brought to justice.
The investigation's underway.
Oh, don't fob me off. You're the boss, make things happen.
If I start stirring things up now, you might regret it. What do you mean by that? We'd have to ask a few awkward questions like why you went to see Sadie King in the first place, and that's before we get onto your company finances.
Don't care what you say, I've got a right to be here.
Chaz, not
Why don't you start with her, like, eh? Ken Dingle's already up for murder. The Dingles are just a bunch of crooks, you know that. Pull one of them in, put pressure on, you'll get to Kane. You must have someone on one of them.
Hope you're soon feeling better.
Thanks for keeping quiet about Sammy.
Oh, yeah, not now.
Just want to talk to Chaz.
We don't
not now. Words with Chaz.
Oh, Tom. I didn't realise.
Come to gloat, have you?
Just want a few words with Chaz, that's all.
Have you got some news of your lad?
That was naught to do with us.
Do you expect me to believe that?
It's the truth.
The truth? You Dingles wouldn't know the truth. They'd jumped up and smacked you in the face.
You Dingles?
You all crawled out of the same swamp. You lying, thieving, low-life scum, the lot of you.
You watch.
You heard.
Come on, Zach.
You want to watch what you're saying, pal?
We'll be in the van, Chancellor.
You don't talk about my family like that.
I'll say what I damn well like.
I did it to save your life, you ungrateful little creep.
So you say.
If you weren't hurt, I'd deck you.
I'd like to see you try.
That was so childish.
And it didn't achieve anything.
Yes, it did. You finally realised I'm serious.
Louise wants to sell, and nobody else wants to buy.
I'm prepared to wait.
What is so terrible about me being your partner?
Apart from drinking the profits.
It was one lousy bottle of wine.
All my life, whatever I've had, you've wanted to take it and ruin it. You slept with me husband when you were still in Navy knickers.
That was years ago.
What about when you stole from me? That's not so long since.
I've been punished for that.
And it led you straight to Noreen, deluded old biddy. And you came out of that laughing, didn't you, when the poor lass snuffed it?
That's a horrible thing to say.
And now you want to get your hands on this place. Well, I'm sorry. I've built it up and I'm proud of it. And I'm not going to let you ruin it.
Why would I want to do that?
Because you can't help yourself. You destroy everything you touch. I don't trust you. I never have and I never will. I don't even like you. If you weren't my sister, I wouldn't give you the time of day. Have I made myself clear?
Do you hate me that much?
At last, I've got through to you.
Really sorry, Louise.
Kane phoned you. You took him the money.
You saw it was your dad that called. You told me to take the money. You got rid of the tracking devices. It was you that thought you were saving his life.
You could have followed him, and you didn't.
You're either with us or against us. There are no half measures.
I could have refused to take that money because I didn't know what was going to happen to me out there. I was on my own with no backup and no support. But I took it. I took it for you and I took it for Carl, and this is all the thanks that I get.
You knew you'd come to no harm. If you want to be part of this family, you tell us where Kane is.
Oh, go to hell. He'll turn up there eventually.
You don't have to go.
After what your dad just said in there.
He's not thinking straight.
He called me a thief. I didn't see you disagree.
He's had a terrible experience.
He asked me to choose between your family and mine.
I have to do the same.
Well, it looks like we've made a decision then, doesn't it? Come on, let's go.